Number 9. Selling an organ. Who doesn't like to get their hands on the latest smartphones and tech available on the market? But let's be real, it's not exactly easy on your wallet to keep up with all the new tech trends. Every time Apple launches a new product, the internet goes nuts with memes about how expensive the product is. One of the most popular jokes on the internet is the one where you'd have to sell your kidney to afford the new iPhone. Well, a 17-year-old in China wanted one so bad that he decided to do something drastic just to get one. He really did sell one of his kidneys. In 2011, Wang Shenkun sold his kidney on China's black market for $2,500. He found 3 middlemen on a Chinese chatting platform and traveled to southern Henan province, where he was introduced to some sketchy surgeons who removed his kidney in an underground clinic. Not very surprisingly, shortly after the illegal surgery, Wang started to suffer from a decreased level of kidney function. He experienced renal failure in his second kidney after having the one removed. It is said that it was due to the unsanitary conditions where the surgery took place. Shocker. In 2012, 9 individuals connected to the organ harvesting case were arrested for their involvement. Wang, who is now 25, did get the iPhone he wanted, but the health complications from selling his kidney has permanently disabled him, and he is now bedridden. Number 8. Pet my head. The life of a college student isn't easy. Unless you have family money or receive scholarships, paying for school and life in general while attending school is tough. Some people get part-time jobs to solve their money problems, while others find creative solutions. A young man was studying abroad in Sapporo, Japan, when he got an idea to solve his financial debts. Apparently, hair fetishes are a thing, and this guy had pretty amazing curly hair, which is not something one would commonly see in Japan. After he received several comments from his classmates about his fine locks, he thought, hey, maybe I can make some money from this. So he stood outside his college cafeteria with a board that said people could touch his hair for 100 yen. Within an hour, he had earned 500 yen. After that, he came up with another idea. He used the money to buy old Pokemon games from the local shops and sold them to people in the US for about 1,300% markup. Americans love their Pokemon. We don't know what he studied in college, but a business major would have been a damn good idea for him. Number 7. How I got my Xbox. A guy, who will remain anonymous, really wanted the new Xbox, but he couldn't afford it. One day, he was approached by another guy who was in love with a girl. He desperately wanted to be with her. However, there was one big problem. She was already in a relationship. So the admirer told the guy he would pay him if he did him a big favor. The favor? Break into the boyfriend's house and plant incriminating evidence on his computer's hard drive, so the girlfriend would break up with him. Then, the admirer would subsequently swoop in and steal her heart. If it sounds a little dumb, that's because it is. But here's the twist. When the guy broke into the house, he didn't even have to plan anything crazy. The boyfriend already had some pretty sick stuff on his hard drive, so all he had to do was make copies and leave them in conspicuous places for the girlfriend to find. Needless to say, their relationship ended soon after, and the guy was able to buy himself the new gaming console. Number 6. Poop dreams. 33-year-old Alana Castro has always had a weird fascination with human waste. At least, that's what her family says. Now a nursing student in San Gabriel, she has found the perfect side hustle for her childhood obsession. In Castro's words, it's like her poop dreams have come true. It all started with an ad on Instagram for Tustin Medical Lab. The lab had advertised that they were paying for stool samples, and Castro immediately signed up for it. Stool samples may sound like a joke, but Castro makes almost $75 per visit, and she visits the lab several times a week. Doesn't sound so icky anymore, does it? You visit the lab, do your business, and get back to your daily routine. Indigestion can sometimes ruin the visit, but there aren't many downsides to this. What do you think? Would you ever sell your own stool? Have you done it before? Let us know in the comments. And if you're liking the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe button if you haven't already. Number 5. Faking mom's death. In Pakistan, 36-year-old Abraham Rock found himself in grave financial trouble. Just when he thought there was no way out, he got an idea. He could fake his mother's death and use the insurance money to pay off all his debts. He figured they would have enough to live on for the rest of their lives. We didn't say it was a good idea. Rock looked up insurance policies that gave the highest payouts. Rock even discussed the plan with his uncle. He didn't just want a payout, he wanted the maximum payout possible. For that, it was required that the death had to happen under specific circumstances. A road accident involving public transport was one of them. So, Rock decided to fake his 54-year-old mother's death. As for his mother, she too was in on the plan. On June 29, 2018, the mother and son duo traveled to Islamabad, Pakistan to kickstart their plan. While in Islamabad, Rock's uncle helped him get his hands on forged documents and even got them translated into English for easier claims in Singapore. When he submitted the forged death certificates, police documents, and medical certificates, he was initially granted $95,000 from the insurance agencies. But on further inquiry, the insurance companies found discrepancies in the document and asked him to provide the burial address of his deceased mother. Rock thought he was clever to provide the address to his grandmother's tomb, but the insurance investigators didn't buy it and eventually found his mother alive and well in Pakistan. In November 2018, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison and to return all the money. His mother also had to serve a 15-month sentence. Rock was already drowning in debt, and with the current case proceedings, it looks like he's going to remain in the hole for a long, long time. Number 4. Middle school money. What were you like in middle school? Middle school is the time in our lives when we really are up to no good. There's no worry about college applications or fitting into social circles. As a result of that carefree life, mischief becomes the main source of entertainment. When asked what's the weirdest thing that he had done for money, a Reddit user replied that he snorted crushed-up Tic Tacs for $5. Sometime 8 years ago, he was in 6th grade, and a few 8th graders came up to him with a challenge. If he could snort all the crushed-up Tic Tacs, he would get $5. In the mind of a middle schooler, that's easy money, so he readily agreed. As he was snorting the finely ground candies, one of the 8th graders ran to a teacher and said a kid was doing drugs in school. Can you imagine the horror on the teacher's face when they saw the kid snorting white powder in class? He was immediately dragged to the principal's office. It took him some time to explain the situation to his principal, and finally, after checking the powder, they realized it indeed was just candy. The 8th graders got detention for an entire week for getting the kid into trouble. The kid who snorted the Tic Tacs got away with $5. Number 3. $20 brownies. It's common knowledge that music festivals are lit. Lit, meaning lots of people are on drugs. You don't have to do drugs to enjoy the music, but a lot of people do. Ultra Music Festival is an outdoor electronic music fest, and most people are looking forward to have a good time and often take illicit substances to elevate that experience. One guy thought he would bank on this concept, and bank he did. This man turned a music festival into his playground and showed what ambiguous marketing can do. The idea was simple. The investment was low and the returns were phenomenal. Is there anything better than this? He came up with a genius idea to sell brownies. He was selling them for $20 a pop, so naturally, people thought they were special, but they weren't. They were just normal brownies he bought at the grocery store. Just plain old delicious brownies. He never specified that the brownies had anything other than the normal ingredients in them. People just assumed they did. The festival goers thought they were getting hash brownies for $20. They must have been really disappointed when the high didn't kick in. Number 2. Goldsmith duties. The job of a goldsmith isn't just about making dainty pieces of jewelry. Sometimes the job can be downright gruesome, especially when it comes to extracting gold. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. A Reddit user and goldsmith revealed that he once had to hammer the gold out of a dead man's tooth. If the image of a grave robber comes to mind, don't worry, he was a legitimate goldsmith, or so he claims. A client asked him to make some jewelry with the gold his family owned. Now, he had no clue when he accepted the offer that the client's family gold was embedded in the grandfather's teeth. The grandpa had passed and left his gold teeth behind. To extract the precious metal, the goldsmith had to crush the teeth to get to the shiny stuff. He says that even though he was nowhere near the actual dead body, the smell of death was incredibly strong. After all that hard work, he told the client that the gold from the teeth wasn't really the kind of gold that's great to make jewelry, but he made it anyway. After this incident, he also shared that the client had also asked him to make jewelry out of the teeth of someone's dead horse. Needless to say, he declined the offer. And number 1, scientific studies. A little side hustle never hurt anyone, right? Wrong. In this case, a simple side hustle ruined thousands of scientific studies. TikToker Sarah Frank from Florida thought making a video on easy side hustles for teens would help her get more views and followers. She was right. The video titled Side Hustles Part 1 raked in over 4 million views, but the repercussions were not so positive. In the video, she told her viewers how they could make easy money sitting at home using sites that pay for microtasks. Frank shared how she made money using a site called Prolific that paid people for taking surveys. Scientists and researchers use sites like Prolific to get responses from a diverse demographic. It's an easy way for them to get more participants. However, when Frank posted the video, it went viral among the viewers who followed her, and most of the viewers were young women. Soon after that, Prolific saw a large increase in new signups. New participants are always welcome, but unfortunately, they were all from the same demographic category, young women. This limits the scope of their study, and the whole purpose of conducting large-scale randomized studies was jeopardized. Most of the studies relied on responses from a diverse group, and having predominantly young female participants made the research heavily biased. Frank's viewers were just looking to make a quick buck. Instead, they disrupted heaps and heaps of research. Thanks for watching. What's the craziest thing you ever did for money? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.